Ever feel like you're just spinning your wheels? You're working harder than ever, but your wealth just isn't growing. Yeah, you are not alone. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the financial blueprint that really separates the struggling entrepreneurs from the ones who build lasting fortunes. So let's get right into it. Man, this quote right here, it hits home for so many people. You're putting in all the hours, you're doing the work, but the system just feels rigged, right? Banks keep saying no, opportunities seem to pass you by. But what if the problem isn't you at all? What if it's the map you've been trying to follow? Well, that's exactly what we're here to fix. Okay, so here's the big mindset shift. Wealth isn't just earned, it's built. And just like a massive pyramid, it needs a rock-solid foundation, a really robust structure, and a smart plan for reaching the very top. We're going to use this pyramid of wealth idea as our guide to break down every single step you need to build a financial legacy. All right, so every single great structure has to start with a solid foundation, right? Well, in our pyramid, that foundation is your cash flow. Before you can even think about leveraging other people's money, you have to prove to yourself and to the banks that you can master your own. This is the first absolutely non-negotiable step. So how do you master it? Well, it's all about total clarity. I'm talking about knowing exactly where every single dollar comes from and where it goes. As business funding expert Kenny Conwell puts it, if you can't even manage your own money, how on earth can a bank trust you with theirs? It's really that simple. This timeline, wow, it just shows you how high the stakes really are. Back in 2012, Conwell was chasing this huge deal, but he took his eye off the ball, his day-to-day cash flow. And when that big deal collapsed, so did everything else. Car repossessed, couldn't make rent, he lost it all. The lesson here is so powerful, you never ever trade consistent income for what's basically a lottery ticket. By rebuilding with that cash flow first mindset, he created the incredible success he has today.
Okay, so once that foundation is rock solid, we can start moving up the pyramid. Now it's time to build the structure, the actual framework that lets you access some serious capital. And this is all about getting strategic with your business credit.
And look, this isn't some random guessing game. There's a literal formula to this. First, you need a strong personal credit profile. We're talking at least 5 revolving accounts to show you can handle credit responsibly. Next up, you open a business checking account, and you do it with a major bank. Then, you focus on achieving what's called a low 5 bank rating. And don't worry, we'll break that down in just a second. Once those pieces are in place, you can finally leverage your strong personal credit to unlock some significant business funding. So, what in the world is this crucial data point? A low 5 bank rating is basically an internal metric that banks use, and you get it by keeping a consistent balance, somewhere between $5,000 and $10,000, in your business account for 90 days straight. Why? Because it signals to their whole network of lenders that you're not just some fly-by-night operation. You have stability. You're adding value to the bank before you ever ask for money. This one step, believe me, dramatically increases your chances of a big approval. And this is where the magic really happens. This is the power of leverage. With that whole structure in place, banks are often willing to give you a business credit card with a limit that's anywhere from 70 to 200% of your highest personal credit limit. Think about that for a second. A $10,000 personal card could unlock a $20,000 business card. That is an absolute game changer. Okay, so your foundation's solid, your structure is up, you've now got access to capital. The big question is, how do you turn that access into actual, tangible wealth? Well, that brings us to the growth phase of our pyramid, where we're going to learn from the playbooks of the truly wealthy. We've all heard it a million times, right? Create 7 streams of income. But according to wealth strategist Lala Idlet, that's actually a trap. It just leads to having shallow knowledge across a bunch of different areas. The wealthy, they do the exact opposite. They concentrate. They go so incredibly deep in one industry that they develop what she calls an unfair information advantage. They know the market so well they see deals and opportunities that are completely invisible to everybody else. And this quote just sums it up perfectly. Look, diversification isn't wrong. It's just a step you take later. You concentrate to build the fortune, then you diversify to preserve it. Getting that order right, that's everything. This brings us to the very top, the apex of our pyramid. Preservation. It's one thing to build wealth, but it's another thing entirely to make it last for generations. This is the final, and maybe the most overlooked piece of the whole puzzle. Just take a look at this. These numbers are absolutely shocking. 70% of family fortunes are gone by the second generation. Gone. By the third, It's a staggering 90%. Gone. They call it the generational wealth cliff for a very good reason. And often, it's because the skills and the financial discipline that built the wealth, they don't get passed down with the assets. Without a real plan, even massive fortunes can just vanish. So how do you actually beat those odds? Well, you've got to use the right tools. Think of estate planning as the treasure map for your assets. Trusts are like the protective vaults that keep those assets safe for your family for generations. And for the really wealthy, a family office is like having a CEO for your family's fortune, managing the whole thing with professional precision. And there you have it. The complete pyramid. It's such a powerful, logical progression, right? It all starts with the discipline of cash flow. That lets you build the structure for credit. You leverage that credit to grow through concentration, and then finally, you preserve that wealth for generations. Each step makes the next one possible. So I'll leave you with this one question. Every single day, you are building something. The question is it a temporary tent? Something ready to get knocked down by the very next storm? Or are you following a proven blueprint to build a financial fortress that will stand for generations? The choice, and now the tools, are yours. Thanks for tuning in.